Now that one of the images has been processed in a way that it looks somewhat interesting, what I want to do is I want to synchronize these settings across multiple files. So there are a couple of different things that I can do here. One technique that you can use is you can select one image, hold down the Command key on a Mac, Control key on a PC, and click on another. Now in that particular case, if you go ahead and flip on the switch for Auto Sync, which is new to Lightroom 3, you can then make an adjustment. For example, I'm going to change the treatment of the color to black and white. Now here you're going to see that both of these images have been updated. Or for example, I'm going to go ahead and increase the exposure. You're going to see that incrementally each of these images have been adjusted. Now one of the things that happens when you make adjustments here is that they're all incremental. Rather than making all the adjustments exactly the same, it takes a look at where the file was and increases it from that point. That's why this image is brighter than this image over here. Alright, well that's kind of interesting and kind of helpful in certain situations where you want incremental change. But in my case, what I really want is global change. I want all the images to look the same. So I'm going to press Command Z on a Mac, Control Z on a PC, and that will undo these different steps that I've applied here. So I can go back to where I just had this nice treatment here on the first image. So another technique that I could use would be to select one image, hold down the Shift key, select another image. In this case, I'm selecting contiguous files, and then I'm going to go ahead and click on Sync Settings. This will open up the Synchronize Settings dialog. Now here it's saying, what do you want to synchronize? What type of adjustments? In this case, I can leave everything turned on, so I'll check all and then go ahead and synchronize. Now what it's going to do then, as I scroll through these images, is process all of these images in the same exact way. Alright, well now that they're at the same particular setting, I can then tap into auto sync a little bit more effectively. In other words, if I go ahead now and increase the contrast, what we're going to see is that it's going to make an incremental change, but it's going to make it the same across the board. Or, let's do something a little bit more visual so you can actually see it. When I convert to black and white and then scroll through the images, they're all going to have that same exact look. Alright, well let's undo that and go back to the color photographs. Well, one of the things that you may have noticed is that we have a limited number of controls here. Well, you can actually access a few more controls by holding down the Option key on a Mac, the Alt key on a PC. And what it does is it changes clarity into sharpening. So then if you hold down the Option key on a Mac, Alt key on a PC, and then increase the sharpening amount, if you let go and click, it will increase the overall clarity. Now, same thing is true with vibrance and also, of course, saturation. So I'll go ahead and just increase that a little bit as well. Alright, well now these images are really coming to life. Let's scroll through them. We can see that they're much different than when they started. So one of the things that you're discovering here is that the Quick Develop panel is actually quite powerful. Yet that being said, it's so limited compared to what we can do in the Develop module. So for the most part, you're going to spend most of your time doing creative things inside of the Develop module. The one time where at least I find Quick Develop helpful is when I need to make small incremental changes across multiple files. Nonetheless, it's helpful to know how Quick Develop works, yet for the most part, I recommend you do most of your creative work inside of the Develop module.